Lagos State Government is ready to enhance fairness and transparency in the allocation of housing units through the use of a ballot in the allocation of some of its home units. These and many more plans were unveiled by the Lagos State Honorable Commissioner for Housing, Honorable Moruf Akinderu Fatai, at the year 2024 press briefing event to mark the first term of the second tenure of the Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The event had in attendance other commissioners, permanent secretaries, directors, civil servants, and members of the press. The Lagos State Commissioner for Housing, Honorable Moruf Akinderu Fatai, revealed that the state is collaborating with the federal government on the Renewed Hope Housing Initiative to provide over 2,000 home units in Ibaja and Ibejuleki, among other developmental plans.
Presently, LSDPC has 19 ongoing projects at various locations, and these projects are estimated to produce a total of 2,104 homes in addition to the housing stock in the state. Some of the projects include LSDPC Ogudu Alapere Boulevard, 508 apartments, Kefi Suits Southwest Ikoyi, 144 luxury apartments, Iconic Towers, 172 luxury apartments, Ilukweju Garden, 234 apartments, Garnet Residence, 33 apartments, The Nexus, 70 luxury apartments, Ogba Ijaye Extension, 16 apartments, Oluwole Urban Mall, 450 retail units and warehouses, 144 residential units, Fish Valley, FRC and Ikeja GRA, was in Maryland, the review of misuse residential and commercial development. It is, however, important to note that the corporation is facing some challenges in the course of discharging its mandate. Some of these challenges are scarcity of land in Lagos, being a littoral state, regulatory and statutory constraints hindering its ability to maximize development potentials, delay in project delivery by joint venture partners, lack of access to mortgage financing to encourage provision of affordable homes. Activities of the Lagos Mortgage Board. During the period under review, the Lagos State Mortgage Board has been able to pre-qualify a total of 950 applicants for home unit allocations within various schemes. We have 400 applicants for Lagos Homes Ajara, Badagry, 450 for Lagos Home Odo Nosa Ayodelu, and 100 for Lagos State Public Affordable Housing Scheme in Dale Badagry. The agency also held stakeholder forum with residents of Lagos Okoba and Oba Adegboruwa Housing Estate Igbogbo, so as to peacefully and sustainably amongst the residents. The ministry engaged an IT consultant, Shams PLC, for the digitalization of the work processes of the estate and physical planning and survey departments. The consultant has procured and supplied a specific rack-mountable server with dual power modulo as recommended and signed off by the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology. The ministry was also able to implement a grant of 40% rebate once in service life to 698 civil servants in the state to enable them to have easy access to home ownership. The governor has also approved that teachers and health personnel in remote areas within the state be considered for allocation of home units constructed within those localities.
The commissioner, however, listed some of the challenges facing the ministry as encroachment on state-owned land for housing projects, litigations, slow pace of work by joint venture partners, and several other issues.
Encroachment on state-owned land for housing projects, litigations, slow pace of work by joint venture partners, issues related to allocation of the homes due to limited number, inflationary trends, issue with the constant allotee and resident, strategic initiative deployed in order to reduce encroachment on land allocated to the ministry by land grabbers. We are now putting action in place to secure all the land granted to the Ministry for Housing Development. Litigation are now also being resolved through mediation and other alternative dispute resolution strategy to curb delays. Processing of deed of sublease, procurement of certificate of occupancy for estate. The ministry has succeeded in producing over 40-some print electronic survey plan for some of our new estates with the aim of preparing deed of sublease for the homeowners. Introduction of monthly stakeholders meeting in the estate within all divisions of the state. The ministry has introduced monthly stakeholders meeting to engage allottees on issues that are germane to the well-being and of joint interest to the resident and the state government. The progress in the housing sector in the past 12 months affirmed the commitment of this administration to drastic reduction in housing deficit. Construction is ongoing now in all the schemes cited earlier mentioned. This, coupled with the processes put in place for the implementation of policies that reduce the barrier to home ownership that has brought mind on so many faces of many negotiations. What you have noted is the agency intervention in alleged 40 million naira land scam issue between Revolution Plus Property Limited and the Nigerian diaspora. Registration of practitioners. The agency has a database of 925 registered individuals and organizations on its registration portal, lasera.lagosstate.gov.ng, out of over 2,550 petitioners that have enrolled to be registered. Mediation. The agency has the executive right to explore alternative dispute resolution mechanism as a means to amicably settle real estate related disputes before real estate cases are escalated to the enforcement authority for detailed investigation and prosecution if required. Consequently, the number of cases received by the agency till date is 1,702, out of which 1,458 were mediated on and 1,144 were successfully resolved. However, 294 were adjourned for further mediation, 141 cases were abandoned due to non-attendance at the session by parties involved, while 103 were referred to appropriate agencies. In addition, there are 8 cases in court, 2 in Federal High Court, 3 in State High Court, and 3 in Magistrate Court.
Lagos residents have been warned to be wary of the activities of dubious individuals or organizations who parade themselves as registered real estate agents in the state. It is an offense for an individual or organization to engage in real estate business without due registration with the Lagos State Real Estate Registration Agency, LASRERA, urging the practitioners in the sector to always act responsibly and follow the path of the law. The Ministry of Wealth Creation and Employment Year 2024 Ministerial Press Briefing held recently in commemoration of the first year, second term anniversary of Mr. Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu administration. The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Wealth Creation and Employment, Honorable Akinyemi Ajigbotafe, Permanent Secretary Dr. Biodun Onoyele, and the Ministry's management staff were at Bagauda Cultural Press Center, the Secretariat, for the year 2024 Ministerial Press Briefing. Also in attendance were the Chairman House Committee on Wealth Creation, Honorable Mrs. Stella Foluke Osafile, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Information and Strategy, Mr. Gbenga Motosho, Permanent Secretary Information and Strategy, Mr. Olumide Shogunle, the Executive Secretary, Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, Mrs. Feishayo Alayode, and gentlemen of the press. The Honorable Commissioner commended the leadership role and unflinching support of Mr. Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, the Deputy Governor Dr. Balfemi Hamzat, and all hands that are steering the state's ship by ensuring that the focus of the administration is constantly geared towards achieving a Lagos like no other.
Permit me at this juncture to commend the leadership role and unflinching support of our dear Governor the Deputy Governor, and all hands that are sharing the state ship by ensuring that the focus of this administration is constantly geared towards achieving a Lagos like no other. That is blazing the trail, thus making it the reference and pathfinder for others to understudy and replicate. Our efforts will not be spared as we continue to pursue and sustain steadfastly our commitment towards wealth creation and employment, as well as ensuring the delivery of dividends of democracy with a corps of loyal, dedicated, and supportive members of staff giving their unalloyed support. We have ensured that our concerns has to do with the importance we place in addressing initiatives to innovatively overcome challenges to advance positive change. The program highlights, we have the Go Recycling Hub, we have the Volunteer Network, which is in a bid to expand capacity building initiative of Lagos State Employment Transport to fund and establish a network of industry experts and volunteers cutting across diverse sectors who willfully offer their wealth of experience and expertise to support our programs through training facilitation, mentorship, coaching, field engagement, research, and program evaluation. Over 500 applicants signed up to volunteer, but after screening, 35 volunteers fulfilled the requirement and were onboarded in June 2023. We have the Impact Investment Roundtable too. A huge part of the work we do at LSCF is to focus on every aspect of our beneficiaries' business journey, even when it's not a direct project. Within the fund, this is what led us to welcome the Impact Investors Foundation, IIF, to showcase our beneficiary for potential investment from local and international venture capitals and private equity funds. The LSETF beneficiaries engage and pitch for improved visibility and funding for their businesses. The ministry through the department collaborated with the West Africa Vocational Education Academy, WAVE, trained over 180 unemployed youth on employability, soft skill in 4 selected local governments and LCDAs, namely Ikeja, Egbedimu, Otawuri, and Isolot in the states. The training included soft employability skills such as time management, problem solving, teamwork, and managing expectation, etc. These skills training are in line with international standards. The participants of the training were given 2 weeks intensive training followed by a 1-month job shadow in various organizations. Over time, about 1,450 unemployed youths have gone through the WAVE employment skills training, covering 29 LGAs and LCDAs. 60% of the graduates were matched to WAVE jobs. Job fair program. This ministry organized a job fair that brought together job seekers and potential employers in a networking and recruitment event. This initiative provided a platform for job seekers to interact with employers, submit resumes, and participate in interviews, thereby ultimately increasing their chances of securing employment at the event. All unemployed graduates in attendance were interviewed by most of the organizations present. The department partnered with over 50 organizations, recruiters. A total number of 636 job seekers attended the program, and about 100 of them secured employment with various private organizations represented at the program. The State Cash Transfer Units, SCTU, of the Ministry of Wealth Creation and Employment was created and assigned to implement the Household Uplifting Program, HUP, otherwise known as Conditional Cash Transfer, CCT, which commenced in the state with its inauguration on the 15th April 2020. The program is being implemented in all 20 LGAs and 35 LCAs in the states. The CCT aims at responding to deficiencies in capacity and lack of investment in the human capital of poor and vulnerable households. The unit is also currently implementing social transfer to vulnerable individuals under the World Bank Assistance Program, tagged NG Cares. Social transfer to 2,145 beneficiaries under the NG Cares program in Lagos State.
The media representatives asked questions about the commissioner's achievements, to which he provided answers. Several officers from the ministry equally responded to questions as they threw more light on government structure for wealth creation and employment in Lagos State.
1 billion through about 6,000 and 1 billion through about 6 million and 30,000 naira for the consumer cash transfer. The reason why I had to cover all the local governments is that the program is from the federal government in conjunction with World Bank. It's meant to be domesticated at the state level, and the state is making concerted efforts to domesticate this program. So when we hold this program, wherever this program is here to reach, we are going to cover the program.
That's the first thing. But I will ask, and if you don't mind me adding to this, that we also educate them as we give them that loan. So make it clear that it's not free money, it's not entitled, it's not your entitlement. We have our business support team that educate them on why it's important they pay back. So the first one is the credit loan. The second one is we actually have a home recovery desk. And Madam Fulu can bear us witness, right? We have a home recovery desk that we had to set up to go after funds that we had given as far back as 2016, 2017. So we actively go out on the field. I have my guys on the field. In fact, I got a call while I was here. And we have law enforcement agencies that work with us to ensure we collect those funds. And that's why part of our requirements is also what we call your guarantor information. Because we go outside the guarantors and we make sure people are aware that this is the implication if you don't pay back your loans. So the 10% plus that's out there, we're actively going after them with those measures I mentioned. 5% equity contribution. So depending on the size of the loan, we ask for a 5% that we keep and then we give you at the end of the loan. So I think I've answered the first two questions. I do want to add to that, like I said, I think Commissioner touched on it as well. Beyond giving loans, in fact, at the starting point, we have a program that's called business support. So we hold your hand and we say, what do you need to set you up for success? So it's not just access to credit. It's how do you digitize yours? How do you digitize your process? How do you make sure that you're employing the right people? So that's why when the gentleman asked about the numbers in terms of how do we give loans to this many people and how do we create these jobs, we actually follow up. We have a monitor and evaluation team that goes out 3 months after the loan, 6 months after the loan, 12 months after the loan to make sure that those numbers that we're tracking are accurate and they are also now hiring more people. So giving somebody a loan, they hire 3 more people, that adds to our numbers. So that's why you see the ripple effect.
The Ministry of Wealth Creation and Employment, through the Commissioner, has expressed the commitment and determination of Lagos State Government through the Ministry in strategically creating strategies to leverage on wealth creation programs for effective operations in the state.